Welcome back, listeners, to a brand new episode of the New Standard. And you are checking out a game of inches, the Steelers versus Commanders post game show. As always, we will bring you a show right after the game. Also, if you want to participate in the program, please hit us with a like and a subscribe. We always want your participation as we move forward in the experience as well. We will be putting up the podcast for this game as well. Outstanding victory by the Pittsburgh Steelers as they travel to DC and get the dub against the Washington/Commanders football team, Redskins. Yes, it is a game of inches, and we will jump into a breakdown of the game. Hey, man, the football is absolutely a game of inches. And I want to give a big shout out to my Uncle Carl. I want to give a big shout out to my man Kamal, my cousin Kamal, who is at the game. Big up to Kamal and big up to your pops, Kamal. Big up Kamal for bringing the victory to the Steelers, going back to D.C. to check out the game. Big up the Steelers freak for chiming in. And it's a game of inches. This was a very good game. This is one of those games where I feel fantastic that they won the game, but I wouldn't have been too upset had they not won the game. And I was talking to Neil Coulon, big up to Big Neil, and Neil said something that was interesting. He said, if they win this game, I'm a believer. I think I might be a believer. I think this team, the way it is playing football right now, has the elements to be a team to win consistently, and quite possibly win the chip. I just want to know, if you're listening to the program right now, do you got a feeling? Do you got a feeling? I got a feeling, and it's tingly. I got a feeling. And what feeling is that? And if you're a Steeler fan, you know what that feeling is. I got a feeling that the Steelers have found a quarterback, that the Steelers will make that quarterback the quarterback next year. I think he will start for 2025. And I think they have a formula for how they want to play offense and how they want to win football games. And assalamu alaikum, my brother, Ali Howard Species 5618. Big up to you. They've got a formula. And, my one concern in this game, and let's just go back to the game real quick before I jump into my concern with this game. This is a game of inches. I thought that call, and Corey Hatcher is right, that it's a great dub. I thought that call where they did not call Jaylen Warren down, I thought that was a long whistle. I thought that was a bullshit call. I thought that was the type of call where referees inject themselves in the game. And I thought it was a BS call. Football God smiled down on the Steelers because part of me thought that was a BS call on Zach Ertz. I thought he got the first down. I thought he got the first down in terms of forward progress. But this is what happens, and this is what can happen when you play tight games. Sometimes they can go your way, and sometimes they won't go your way. And Corey Hatcher brought up another one, which was a bad play in this game, that the refs completely blew the holding on Watt, and that should have been a safety. So it is absolutely a game of inches. It's a game of inches in the sense that I don't think they should have called that penalty. They should have called the penalty for the safety. That shouldn't have been a turnover, in my opinion. And I thought it was a conversion on downs for the Washington Commanders. But kudos to Mike Tomlin. And see, this is the advantage of having a savvy veteran managing the quarterback stuff for your offense. Justin Fields in that situation, I'm not going to say that he can't do the same thing and draw them off sides, but you got Russell Wilson with the clean ball exchange, no ball exchange issues with Zach Frazier. You got him with the hard cadence, and he's a master at it. He pulled the razzle dazzle against the Commanders and got them to jump. And that's why you put the vet back there. Part of playing quarterback in the National Football League is managing down to down, managing the plays, managing it, being clean exchange. That's part of what this is. And going back to Fifi's point, what's up, Felicia? Man, I don't care who the quarterback is. The Steelers stress the fans out. I want to go back to another game in terms of the theme of the program, a game of inches. We might not even be in this situation in this particular game had the Steelers converted to fourth down on the special teams play. And let me absolve the special teams coach. In that situation, and please respond, Corey Hatcher, on the thread. When you see the gunner uncovered like he was, that's an automatic throw it to him. It's not even a play call. It is an automatic. He's uncovered. You throw the ball to him. You get a first down. They did that. You just have to convert. You have to complete the play. The call, it wasn't even a call. I can't even say the call because it wasn't a call. This is what they're trained to do. If he is uncovered, you throw it. You don't even have to think about it. They go over this all the time in practice. He's uncovered. I throw it. You catch the ball. But he came back, Pierre, later in the game and made a great play to recover, to break up the pass play on third down. This is a game of inches, and both plays were a game of inches. And in this game, it went the Steelers' way. Let's jump into a couple of numbers in this game as we take a look at it. Steelers had 21 first down to the Commanders' 19. Steelers had 9 rushing first downs, 9 passing first downs. Big first down, the last one on a penalty. Steelers converted 44% of their third downs, 50% in terms of fourth down. The big number that stands out in this game, and this has to improve for the Steelers on the defensive side, but their offense was 3 of 4 in the red zone. That's one thing that I've been nitpicking the Steeler team about, is for them to convert and be more efficient in the red zone, and they did that. Although the Commanders were also 3 of 3 in the red zone. The Steelers are going to have to clean that up for next week in their big matchup against the Baltimore Ravens, but they did an excellent job on third down, kept them to 36%, 5 of 14 on third down, held the Commanders to only 242 net yards, and ran 75 plays to the Commanders 59. So in a large case, the Steelers really dominated this game and averaged as well about 4.5 yards per play in this game. You'd like that to go up, but the Steelers held on to the ball 36 minutes in this game. And when you looked at the Commanders' offense this year, very explosive unit. And part of the game plan was absolutely the Steelers keeping the ball. Steelers got a fumble lost through an interception, I believe, in the game as well. So they got to clean that up. But I like where this offense is trending. It is trending up. In terms of rushing yards, Steelers ran it for about 140 net. That's very good. They're continuing to run the ball. I'd like to see that running game get off the bus, though. I'd like to see the running game get off the bus and start fast. And you know what time it is when Mike Tomlin wears the black Air Force Ones, baby. And big up to Mike Williams with the splash play to catch the touchdown pass to end the game, actually be the game-winning play. And big up to them. Big up to Mike Williams. Big up to the front office for going out there and identifying them. And I did a TikTok this week, and I must apologize. I called Mike Williams ass cheeks. Well, he showed me, and he made the play, and it was a fantastic play by him. One thing that Russell Wilson does very well, he throws a very catchable deep ball. The deep ball that he throws is fantastic. He puts it in places where it's easy to catch, it's easy to maintain. And to Corey Hatcher's point, Preston Smith also showed up. This sets up a fantastic matchup for first place in the AFC North. And I'm going to ask you guys a question. And big up to James Galloway. Big up to your barber, Lance the Fade Williams. I cut my hair, James. I'm the fade master. It's just that I've been naturally blessed with a great hairline. My hairline is great. Also, George Pickens, we continue to see him shine with the contested catches. This was a fantastic game. I mean, this is a real win. You know, you have Steeler fans out there that complain that the Steelers haven't beat anybody, so on and so forth. The Commanders are real. The Commanders are absolutely real. You beat a first-place team, a team that's third in the league in scoring. This is real. Where I would like to see the Steelers perform a little bit better, although they did get 140 yards rushing, was I'd like to see Najee Harris's first down carries and early down carries, that be a little bit better. That has to tick up. In this game, he was 21 for 53, only averaged 2.5 yards a carry. Warren ran it 14 times for 66 yards. And let me ask you a question, Coach Hatch. Since you were on the show listening live, big up to my guy, Coach Hatch. Why are they running so much toss to Najee Harris? I do not like the toss stuff to Najee Harris. I mean, it seems to me that if you're going to run Najee Harris 21 times, that's got to be in between the tackles. I can't give Najee Harris 5 toss plays where they all lose yards. And I agree with Coach Hatcher as well. I think they need to diversify it on first down, and I think they need to throw it a little bit more. I love how they found the matchup with Freiermuth in one-on-one coverage as the Commanders were trying to run some man underneath stuff, and I think they were able to exploit that as well. But again, I don't know what Steeler team I'm watching. This is a Steeler team that goes out and scores another 28 points. I mean, I don't know if my math is right, but hell, they're averaging damn near 31 points a game with Russell Wilson as the quarterback. I mean, wow. And to Felicia's point, and Felicia said Ryan Clark picked against us, I'm going to his X page and telling him always bet on black, a.k.a. the black and gold, that is. I picked the Steelers in this game. Why don't you guys give me my props? And again, you're checking out the Steelers post-game show, A Game of Inches. I picked the Steelers to win this game 27-24. So, hey, my streak is broken as well. So, Fifi, you got to give me some love. You guys listen to the show. You've got to give me some love. The other thing, and that's a great point, Coach Hatch, they got to stop using Austin's little ass to lead block. Absolutely. And Mr. Tummy did the math. The Steelers are all the way up to 24 points per game. Absolutely, baby. Absolutely. They gave up a little bit more than they typically do, but scoring 24 points a game and giving up about 16, that's some math I can get with. I am a believer in this team. The one thing I want to see, and agree with me or not, I want to see that running game get started fast. I still want to see them get started a little faster. Although they did have 14 points pretty early in the game, I want to see that running game start cranking it up fast at the start of games so the Steelers don't have to play from a deficit and they can control the clock, although they did a good job of doing that in this game. They look pretty good. This is a team, as you can hear it in my voice, I'm excited about. I don't know what I'm watching. I'm watching solid quarterback play. I'm watching the Steelers score a bunch of points, and they are doing this with a ragtag, and I mean ragtag, receiving unit, and they're piecing this all together. And right now, and it's very early, Steelers are still only 7-2, a lot of football to play. But hell, you got to say Mike Tomlin is coaching his ass off. That Mike Tomlin just might be the coach of the year right now if you were to give up the award today. No word, I don't think, has come out, Mr. Tummy, on Highsmith's ankle. You'll probably get some more information on that probably tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. I'll have that information for you on Wednesday. But again, to Coach Hatch's point, they need to pass a little bit more on first down to get the run game going early. Yeah, I still don't think they're the type of run game that, although they run it okay, that they're dominant enough in the run game, where I think they still have to soften some teams up to a little bit of a point, like Coach Hatch is saying. In terms of the defensive end, they were solid in terms of defense. The Commanders only rushed it for a net 60 yards, so that was solid there. They played a very solid game. Holding this Commanders team down to 27 is significant, particularly when one of those drives was only for 15 yards. So, again, this was a fantastic victory. You go on the road, you beat a first-place team, you limit that offense, which was an explosive offense that had been moving the ball at will and scoring at will. You hold them to that performance. I think it's a solid performance. One thing as well is Joey Porter's got to clean up the technique. Joey Porter's got to clean up his technique. There are too many penalties that he gets looked at, or he gets called against him. He has to clean that up. And to Coach Hatcher's point, I would like them to see them as well diversify on first down to counteract stack boxes on first down. And that's not particularly just with jump balls to Pickens. I'd like to see a little bit of diversification with Pickens, but Pickens in the game, 7 targets, 5 receptions, 91 yards, average 18.2 a catch. Freiermuth got 3 targets. I'd like to see Freiermuth targeted a little bit more. Jalen Warren got 2 targets, had 2 catches. Calvin Austin has 6 targets for 2 catches. I'd like to see some of those targets that are being given to Calvin Austin to be given to Pat Freiermuth in the game. In terms of play calling, you had the Steelers run the ball 43 times. They only passed it 26 times. I'd like to see a little more profit in the run game if it's going to be distributed like that, because although they ran it for 140, they only averaged 3.3 yards per carry. On the defensive side, McLaurin had 5 catches on 6 targets for 113, had a long of 54. Everybody else, they held down pretty well. Zach Ertz, 4 grabs, 31 yards. Brown, 3 grabs for 33 yards. McCaffrey only had 1 catch for 23 yards. So they did a fantastic job there. This was a very tough game that could have gone either way. I thought the officiating was a little suspect in the game, but beggars can't be choosy. You go in there and, you get a win. And JPJ is going to have to fix up the handsy stuff. The handsy stuff he's going to have to clean up. I understand he's been a big physical corner, but he has to clean that up. He's getting targeted, and, teams are going to try to continue to put him in conflict to get his hands involved in some of those plays. Big up to Fifi for the $5 super chat, as well as you guys. Please contribute to the program. Hit with a super chat if you do so, please. Also, hit me with a like and subscribe. The Steelers are 7-2. As far as game grades, I'm going to give the Steelers offense an overall a B+. Anytime you put up 28 on the road, the only thing in this game is I think they just got to run it a little bit better. And some of the penalty stuff has to get cleaned up. But if you run the ball a little bit better, I think this is a dominant performance. But I'd like to see them average more than 4.2 a play. You've got to run it a little bit more, especially if you're going to run it 43 times. But I do like the 28 points. I like the 43% in terms of third down conversions. I like the 3 or 4 in the red zone. In terms of Steelers defense, I would give the defense a solid B. I thought they played clutch in some big moments. I don't like the amount of points they gave up. One of those was in a drive that started on the 15th, but I think you still have an opportunity on that drive to play solid D and limit a field goal. But they did held down this offense. They only had 242 yards of total offense. So I think that was positive. I think they were disruptive in terms of getting some pass rush in those areas in the game. They got 3 sacks. They had 8 tackles for loss. They had 6 quarterback hits. So they were fairly disruptive in that regard. So I would give the offense a B+. I would give the Steelers defense a solid B. In terms of my holistic thoughts, I think when you look at this team, I think it's about the running game. I think if the running game can keep the Steeler offense on schedule, I think you'll see the third down conversion stuff even be better. They've got to run it better on early downs. Let me jump into some of your comments before we get out of here. And again, thank you to Fifi for the $5. Appreciate you. Corey Hatcher, and I know this is about Joey Porter Jr. We've got to live with it. He's going to get a hold or a PI in every game. I think so. I agree with you. I thought this was Patrick Queen's best game. I thought he felt comfortable, and he was really solid in his run fits. I would like to see the Steelers get a little bit better in defending against the run and subs. But when you look at the overall numbers, again, sometimes the numbers and what you see, they don't jive. I thought the Steelers were okay in the run in terms of run defense, but the numbers show that they were much better in terms of run defense. Big up to my guy, Sean McCann. Mr. Tummy agreed. PQ did that work. Also, big up to Mr. Tummy. And that's why I'm wearing my salute to service. Big up to all the veterans out there. Big up to my granddad, who was a World War II vet. Big up everybody out there who has served and who is serving. I salute to your service. The Steelers salute to your service. Big up to Corey Hatcher, 10-year Air Force vet. Big up to all my other unnamed family, all my great uncles that also served in the military. Big up to my mother-in-law who served in the Army. And big up to everybody out there who served in the armed forces. Happy Veterans Day. And I'm glad that all my vets out there will be able to celebrate with a win and a Steeler victory. James Galway with the funny comment about JPJ should do all state commercials. And listeners, I am going to bug Neil to do the show on Wednesday because we got a big matchup for first place. If the Steelers holistically, in terms of my holistic thoughts, if they go out and beat the Ravens, particularly if their defense plays really well against the Ravens, I got a feeling. I really got a feeling. If they go out and play well, man, I really got a feeling. And yes, to Corey Hatcher's point, the Washington game was a home game. Yes, it was a home game. And that's a stat in terms of the scrambling stat. That's a stat that I heard on a fantastic show, Football 301 by Nate Tice. He does a great job. If you guys want to dig into some egghead stuff and some number stuff, is they play scrambling quarterbacks very well. That they, I think, are the number one defense in terms of quarterback defending against quarterback scrambles. They are going to have to tackle very well against the Ravens. That is a tackling game, and they're going to have to put some shit on Derrick Henry. That's right. I said some shit. They're going to have to put some of that on Derrick Henry. This going to be a real physical game. To Ollie Howard's species point, as long as Lance picked the Ravens to win, we'll win it easily. Ollie, AHS 5618. I actually picked the Steelers to win this game, 28-24. But hell, I also picked Kamala to win. And you see what happened in that. Oh, my goodness. she got stomped. Mr. Tumby jumped in. Easy to stop Henry. Pull his pants down. Absolutely, man. I was watching that game. His pants came down. My wife was like, oh. She's like, oh. I was like, yeah, he need to pull his drawers up. Big up to Mr. Ron Brazil. Big up to my guy. Thank you for the super chat, Big Ron. Thank you for chiming in. Listeners on the program, Ron Brazil is my man, 50 grand. Big up for the super chat. Washington fan, hate the loss, but you're my guy, Lance. Big up to you. I love the fact that you chimed in, Big Ron, my guy with the Washington Commanders fan. Big up to you. Big up to Commanders. Hey, y'all found one. Y'all got one. Y'all got y'all QB. So win, lose, or draw this year, y'all got y'all matchup with Kingsbury, and you got your matchup with Kingsbury and Daniels. You just got to keep Kingsbury. You got to keep him. That hopefully keeping Kingsbury is better than going to Jacksonville and coaching Trevor Lawrence. So it might be a tough call, but yes, they are still the Redskins to me. And it was funny, to the Redskins name, it's funny. They sing a song called Hail to the Redskins. Fight for Old DC. I think that might be the name of the song. And I'm listening in the background as they're trying to sing Fight for Old DC. It's almost like you heard them beep out Redskins. It was like, hail to the fight for Old DC. I was dying laughing. And that is a case where, and we saw in the country does not like wokeness. We see it. And so maybe the Redskins are, the football team, the Commanders need to rewrite those lyrics for that game. Also, to Corey Hatcher's point, they should not hand out burgundy towels. No way. They should not do that. But they found their guy. That's a solid football team. This was a great game. This was actually my most entertaining and most fun game to watch this year. They beat a quality opponent on the road and played really good football. This team is starting to be a team that I believe in, that I think can actually go deep and win. They have all the elements there. I would just like to see first down offense, particularly first down running, be better. But beggars cannot be choosy. The Steelers jump to 7-2, set up a big matchup next weekend at home. Steelers, Ravens, I got a feeling. And with that, we're going to conclude the program. And as always, tune in, tell a friend, and subscribe. Let's go, Steelers.